Hi guys, welcome to Manhood Explained. My name is Camille. Today is 1st of August 2020. Welcome to video number 218, I believe. Today I want to talk about a kind of an interesting thing because today I've seen my landlord cleaning up his workshop. And I've seen, I had some things that I had to do with some of the woods and so on that he had there, and he helped me basically fix this thing, and small thing, just cut some wood. I just needed to raise my desk because it was too low, and it took us like 3 minutes to fix it. And the moment I entered his workshop and I look at all of this, I remember that the same thing happened with my grandpa, who always had tons of stuff, drills here, some woods and tons of different stuff. And anytime, because I lived with my grandparents for 3 years, whenever I needed something, he just went to his room, took something, and fixed the problem. And it many times, it took him minutes. And I thought to myself, that's interesting, because this kind of place that you have, you gather stuff for years there. And many times you could hear, or people, especially your wife or grandma in that case, they would say, why would you hoarding this whole stuff? Why would you need all of this? But whenever she needed something, he was basically able to take it and just do it right away. And I thought to myself, but it's the thing that happens over and over in practically every man's life, that you've got something that seems stupid, seems meaningless, but at the end of the day, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the day after, you just show up as being good at it, and then people just use it, and people just they're very thankful or not that you are able to be good at this and help them with that. And I've got tons of examples from my own life, but first of all, you need to understand, what's your workshop? What is the thing that you're really just doing for years, or you just doing your thing? And so many people will say, why would you do that? This is stupid. Why would you need that? And they have all those opinions. They have all they may say so many things about it, being negative or just like skeptic about it. But then at the end of the day, if they need help with this, you'll be able to help them just because you've got all of this stuff or all these abilities. And they don't see this whole road in between you doing those stupid things, and then now being able to help them. And in my case, there was so many things. Like, I remember years ago when I started high school, which was profiled towards IT. I remember, so many conversations or arguments with my parents, with my grandparents. You play computer games all the time. Why would you need that? Why would you waste this time? And then years has passed, and now I'm IT professional. And now, guess who is fixing their laptops, or who is, building website for them? That's obvious, right? But they don't see that all that started because I had a passion for computers, and obviously it started with computer games. But then, because I liked computer games, then it turns like, okay, but how we connect those computers to play together? And then you learn some basics of networks. Then you go through the learning of operating systems and so on, and you end up being a professional. The other thing that I see from my past, which is crazy, I watched a lot of cartoons. And my generation and my friends, we all watched, especially me and my best friend that I had in my high school, we watched those things that you could saw on Cartoon Network, like Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Bravo, Cow and Chicken, I'm Weasel, all of these cartoons. And we spent so much time laughing at this and having fun. And it seems like a stupid thing to do. But then, as I'll tell you later, it has like very fundamental implementation or kind of effect on my life, because that built my sense of humor, which my life's like very much. So that's kind of an important part of this. So first of all, understand what is your workshop. what is the thing that you kind of drawn to and you spend a lot of time on it, even though it might sound stupid. And if you really want to go deep into it, take a piece of paper and write down all of them, everything that comes to your mind, and see how many of these things you have and how much time do you spend on it. And then point number 2, which is kind of interesting, what do you really learn from it? Because as I said, it might seem stupid, but in the long run, you'll see that it'll teach you a lot. And especially if you're drawn to it, something like playing computer games, being a child, or watching cartoons, it may build a person who now, when you're mature, you can use those small things that you're drawn from spending so much time on it, and build a passion of it, and now become someone else, someone that is loved because you have a sense of humor, someone that's awesome to be with, or very helpful because IT, how to deal with this all stuff. But it all started with these stupid things. So what do you really learn? Because some of you are going to the gym, and someone will say, why would you spend so much time in the gym? But then, it teaches you a lot. If you look close enough, it teaches you will of power, or, being consistent, and, going and reaching, and crossing the next barrier of your own weakness, of your strain, of pain. You just build yourself to become a better guy. So, there are so many things. What do you really learn from this? Because it doesn't really matter what you do, it's matter what you take from it, especially if you're drawn to it. And then point number 3, how that really applies to your life, and even more, how can you use it in your relationship? Because as I said, something that started with computer games now makes me, the family support for desktop support and computer support and everything, around IT is built on me. But then the same thing I can do for my wife. And especially when we went through she went through the university and courses and so on, and she needed printer, computer, drives here and there, emails and all of this stuff, and I provided it. That was something that I was able to bring to the table of our relationship. Then the same thing with watching this cartoons. I became this funny guy and someone who is able to bring lots of laugh in our relationship because of that. And even more, when I look even closer at the cartoons, I always watch like very sophisticated cartoons, meaning that they're funny and so on, but they were very abstract. And even today, I love watching like Rick and Morty or Final Space, very intelligent and very sophisticated cartoons in the subjects that they bring. And the same things kind of translated to my life. Now that's why we can spend so many hours with my wife talking about different stuff. And that's why I'm recording this thing. Because throughout the years, I was fascinated with complicated things and looking at how we as people communicate. All of this is just building on a passion to kind of open myself to complicated things. And it all started more or less, or one of the things was the cartoons. So what is your workshop? What do you really learn from it? And how can you apply it? How can it have impact on your relationship, on your life right now? Because this is what I want you to take from this video. Who you become is not really based on where you are or what you do, but what you decide to take from it. Because let's be honest, you can go to Harvard and you can take nothing from there. But you can go to the local university or like do even a short, like a course or something. And you can really go deep in that and become giant, become someone who is really passionate and really good at it. And that can open so many other doors. So it doesn't really matter what you do and where. It means how much time and how much conscious effort you put in learning this thing. So that's why I want you to understand what's your passion, what's your workshop, what do you take from it, and how it can have impact on your relationship. So think about it and do something about it. Because the important thing is that the thing that makes you a giant, the things that make you a genius, is not what you do, but what consciously you decide to spend your time on. So go wild. If you like this video, like, share, comment. If you didn't, comment as well. Give me a shout what you think and what is your experience. And if there's anything you want me to talk about, just give me a shout. I'll be glad to do it for you. That being said, see you tomorrow.